trying to elevate.
'Cause I came straight from outer slums, so I need a check like them Jordan ones. I swear it's for all of my day ones out here making bread, but they came from crumbs.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Pastor Bennie, and you are tuned in to Do It Yourself Credit Sweeps with me, Pastor Bennie. Hey, today's tip, I'm going to talk about credit cards, right? And how credit cards are to be used as a tool to increase our FICO scores, all right? So credit cards are to be used, and this is information that's out there, but I want to, again, share with my reach, all right? Share with my family. Credit cards are to be used as cash, all right, number one. If you don't have the cash coming in, then don't overspend that on a credit card, all right? So if your monthly income is only $3,000, don't go and put $5,000 on a credit card, all right? Number one, all right, because doing these credit sweeps, it's not going to amount to anything if you're just putting yourself back in the same irresponsible hole. So I'm not calling you irresponsible, but it's just, you know, some individuals, they get to where they are because of irresponsibility, and some people can't help it. And so I believe that, you know, you can't help it. All right. When we're using credit cards, use it as cash. So, and you want to use your credit card, all right? You don't want to have a credit card and not use it, all right? This is what increases your FICO score by you being able to pay at least your minimum on the due date, all right? And we're just talking about bumping up the FICO score, okay? We're not talking about, you know, saving interest right now. That's a whole nother beast. But you want to make sure that you're able to pay at least the minimum on. You want to make sure that you're able to pay at least the minimum on your due date. All right. You want to pay at least the minimum on your due date. Sorry, just got to get the camera right. But yeah, you want to make sure you're able to pay at least your minimum on your due date. It may be $39, $25, $50, $100. You want to make sure that you're able to pay at least the minimum on your due date. And as you're paying this on your due date, this is going to increase your FICO score. All right. And so there are different factors as to the makeup of your FICO score, or there's a formula for the FICO score, and on-time credit card payments is a part of that. So you want to make sure you're able to pay that. All right. Secondly, you want to make sure that by your closing statement date, that you are under 30%, not 30%, but under 30%, 29 and under, all right? Under 30%, preferably at 7%, okay? So let's say your credit card due date, let me try to put all this in perspective for us. Your credit card due date is on the 15th, all right? You owe a minimum payment of $39, $25, all right? So you want to make sure on the 14th, preferably, you make that $25 payment. Okay, don't put anything else on the credit card, right, until after the 15th, because the 15th is the due date. You want to try at least a day before to make that minimum payment of $25. All right. Now you have when the 16th comes around, now it's been recorded that you have an on-time payment. Now your statement closing date may be the last day of the month. It may be the 25th, the 29th, the 30th, the 31st, or what have you. Now, from that date, if you're able to, you want to pay that credit card down under 29%, preferably down to 7%. Meaning, if you have a and we're talking about the full amount of the credit limit. So if you have a credit card that is $100, all right. When the 15th comes, you want to make the minimum payment of $25, all right. And by the 30th, which may be your closing statement date, you want to pay that credit card down, preferably to 7% or to $7, or at least to $29. You follow me? All right. And I'm just using $100 just because this is it's just easy on math. All right, easy on our brains. So due date, you want to make at least the minimum amount. All right. Statement closing date, all right, you want to at least pay that, you want to pay it down to under 30%, preferably 7%, or you can pay that off, all right? But I recommend, just based on my study, all right, my mentors, I recommend leaving it at 7%. But what about interest? Hey, that's just the name of the game. But hey, if you're knocking it down to 7%, it's not going to be that much interest anyway. All right. And so you want to have that because now the FICO is now looking to say, hey, you have a revolving account, you're paying it on time, and you do have a little bit of a balance to kind of keep that thing keep it open. Now you can't pay it off. All right. That is a very subjective view. All right. And this is my subjection based on what I've studied, but you may want to pay it off. All right. You may want to, pay it off by your statement close. All right. So, but your main thing is, hey, I can't pay this thing off at my due date, right? Which may be the 15th, but you need to at least make that minimum payment. Do not miss a payment, okay? Do not miss a payment, because when you miss a payment, that is going to mess everything up. All the hard work that you've put into sweeping your credit and preparing it and getting that FICO score up, it's going to mess it up. So you want to at least make that minimum payment. Also, you can call your credit card company, all right? Call the bank who has issued your credit card. And 99.9% of the time, they're lenient as far as you can change your due date, your statement close dates, and things of that nature. Just find out. Just give them a call and say, hey, I'm looking to change my due date or statement close date, things of that nature. Just to make sure that you're able to manage your funds. And they will do that, all right? And so, again, those are the 2 key days. Your due date, you want to at least make the minimum payment. And that statement close, and by the statement close date, you want to have that thing knocked down to under 30%, preferably 7%, all right? And that's gonna cause these high boosts, okay? Listen, sometimes you have to employ the system to escape the system. All right, that's what I like to say, right? You got to put that system to work, to go to work for you. And if you own a business, or any business owners out there, you guys know that, hey, it costs money to have employees. It costs money to get people to work for you. But the overall return on your investment is greater than the investment, right? The ROI is greater than the investment, and that's what you want. So, hey, you may have to go out there and get a secured credit card. Take $200 of your money and give them $200 and start working with that. All right, that's just the name of the game. That's just where you are right now. That just may be where you are. It may be where you are right now. So you do that. If you can't do that, try to find someone who will allow you to be an authorized user. Okay. And all that is just someone adding you to the credit card account. All right, you don't have to have a copy of the credit card, or you don't have to have you don't have to have access to it, but you want to make sure that they make their payments on time, that they haven't been late, because that's going to help boost you. Find a family member who may have better credit than you, and that they pay their bills on time, and do that. But we'll get more into that in some later videos. But hey, I just wanted to come to you and give you some tips about using the credit cards. Make sure you make the minimum payment by the due date. Make sure you pay it down to 30% as well, to below 30%, or preferably 7%. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And until the next video, if you stay in God, you will stay in control. And until then, happy credit sweeping. Bye-bye.
It's time to elevate.
'Cause I came straight from out the slums.